In the heart of Texas lies a natural wonder with an eerie reputation, Jacob's Well. This crystal clear spring, with its inviting blue waters, masks a network of dark, narrow tunnels that have earned it the title of one of the most perilous diving spots on Earth. Its beauty is undeniable, a siren's call to adventurers. Yet beneath its serene surface, a deadly labyrinth lurks, silently waiting to ensnare those who dare to venture too deep. In this video, we unravel the chilling story of the 1983 Jacob's Well diving tragedy, a narrative that echoes with the eerie reminder of nature's unpredictability. Prepare to dive into the mysteries and the ominous allure of this underwater cave system. Jacob's Well is more than just a natural spring. It's a marvel that has intrigued and mesmerized explorers and divers for decades. Located in the Texas Hill Country, it's a stunning geological formation that captivates with its seemingly bottomless blue waters. From the surface, it appears serene and inviting, a beautiful oasis nestled amidst rugged terrain. But this tranquil facade belies a treacherous reality that has lured many into its depths. The well descends vertically for about 30 feet before opening into a series of labyrinthine passageways and caverns. This intricate network, stretching over 4,500 feet, is a maze of tight squeezes, narrow corridors, and unexpected drop-offs. For divers, Jacob's Well is a siren song, a challenge calling out to test their skills, endurance, and bravery. The allure lies in the promise of the unknown, the thrill of discovery in an alien world where few have ventured and where even fewer have emerged unscathed. Yet, these same qualities that make Jacob's Well so enticing are what make it extraordinarily dangerous. The passages are dark and claustrophobic, with visibility often reduced to mere inches. The water is icy cold, a stark contrast to the warm Texas sun that bathes the land above. One wrong turn can leave a diver disoriented and trapped, with no clear path back to the surface. In the murky gloom of these submerged corridors, the sense of time and direction can quickly slip away, replaced by a growing sense of dread. Before the 1983 tragedy, there were already whispers of danger. Divers who had ventured into the well spoke of its eerie silence, of how easy it was to lose one's bearings in the twisting, ever-narrowing tunnels. Some had narrowly escaped with their lives, recounting tales of sudden silt clouds that reduced visibility to zero, or of equipment failures in the most critical moments. Despite these warnings, the well's reputation grew, its beauty, its mystery, and its peril becoming part of its allure. It was a crisp spring day in 1983 when a group of divers gathered at the edge of Jacob's Well, each one eager to embark on an adventure into the unknown. Among them were experienced divers, familiar with the inherent dangers of cave diving, and a few less experienced individuals who had heard tales of the well's beauty and peril. The mood was a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation. Everyone knew this dive would test their limits. The group had meticulously planned the dive, mapping out their route and ensuring that every piece of equipment was in perfect working order. Their goal was to explore one of the deeper chambers that few had reached, a darkened expanse hidden beyond a series of tight passages known only to the most daring. They descended one by one, their lights cutting through the crystal clear water as they entered the well's yawning mouth. The first part of the dive went smoothly. The divers moved methodically, using the guide ropes they had laid out to navigate the twisting passages. The water was cold and clear, the beams from their torches illuminating the limestone walls that loomed around them. As they ventured deeper, the sense of isolation grew, the weight of the earth pressing down on them in the silent, dark water. Then things began to go awry. As they approached a narrow passage leading to the deeper chamber, silt was stirred up by the fin of one of the divers. In an instant, the clear water turned to a murky haze, obscuring their vision and making it nearly impossible to see the guide ropes. Panic set in as they realized they were effectively blind in this underwater maze. The lead diver, who had been guiding the group, tried to signal a halt, but in the chaos, not everyone received the message. Confusion spread among the divers. Some tried to retrace their steps, feeling along the walls for the guide rope, while others attempted to push forward, believing they were close to their destination. The passage that had been carefully mapped out suddenly seemed alien and unrecognizable. Every turn looked the same, and every second felt like an eternity as their air supplies dwindled. In the chaos, one of the divers became separated from the group. Disoriented and alone, he struggled to find a way out. His breathing quickened, consuming his limited air supply at an alarming rate. Desperation clawed at him as he realized the gravity of his situation. He was trapped in the belly of Jacob's Well with no clear path to the surface. The labyrinthine tunnels that had promised adventure now threatened to become his tomb. The other divers fared no better. Some managed to find their way back to the guide rope, but by then valuable time had been lost. Their air supplies were critically low, and the pressure of the deep began to take its toll. In a last-ditch effort, they attempted to retrace their steps to the entrance, each one fighting against the clock and the crushing weight of fear. Rescue attempts were launched almost immediately after the group failed to surface at the scheduled time. Experienced divers and emergency responders worked tirelessly to locate the missing divers, but the murky waters and intricate cave system made the search a harrowing task. Hours turned into days, and as hope began to fade, the grim reality of the situation set in. When the bodies were finally recovered, the tragedy of that day was brought into sharp focus. The divers had succumbed to the very allure that had drawn them to Jacob's Well in the first place, a thirst for adventure, a desire to explore the unknown. They had ventured into the depths with a sense of purpose and excitement, only to be met by the unforgiving reality of nature's darker side. The news of the tragedy at Jacob's Well spread quickly, sending shockwaves through the local community and the broader diving world. It was not just the loss of life that struck a chord, but the way it happened, so sudden, so silent, and so final. Authorities, alongside experienced divers, swiftly mobilized to recover the bodies and understand what went wrong on that ill-fated day. The scale of the incident demanded answers, not only for the families of those lost, but also for the entire diving community that now faced a harsh reality check. The recovery operation was perilous. Rescue divers had to navigate the same treacherous, murky passages that had ensnared the victims. The process took several days, with every dive into the well bringing a heavy reminder of the risks involved. As they worked, the rescuers faced the eerie silence of the underwater caverns, the weight of their task pressing down on them with every descent. Each dive was a somber journey into the depths, a stark confrontation with the same dangers that had claimed their fellow divers. Finally, after a painstaking effort, the bodies were recovered, and the full extent of the tragedy came to light. An investigation followed, aiming to piece together the final moments of the divers' lives. Through the accounts of surviving team members and the position of the bodies, it became clear that disorientation and panic had played significant roles in the catastrophe. The stirred-up silt had transformed the once clear waters into an impenetrable fog, and the divers, already deep within the labyrinth, had lost their way. The narrow passages and the cold, dark water compounded their sense of isolation and helplessness, turning the dive into a harrowing ordeal. Experts analyzed the divers' equipment, finding no mechanical faults. This only deepened the sense of tragedy. The divers had been well prepared, and their gear had functioned correctly. The true enemy had been the environment itself, a deadly combination of natural hazards that had turned a challenging dive into an inescapable death trap. The investigation highlighted the risks of cave diving, especially in such a notoriously dangerous location as Jacob's Well. It was a grim reminder that no amount of preparation can fully mitigate the unpredictability of nature. The diving community was shaken. This incident wasn't the first at Jacob's Well, but it was one of the most devastating. It prompted a reevaluation of cave diving practices, particularly the importance of training, experience, and respect for the unpredictable nature of such environments. The 1983 tragedy became a stark lesson in humility, a reminder that, in the face of nature's raw power, even the most experienced and prepared can find themselves at its mercy. The 1983 tragedy at Jacob's Well left an indelible mark on the diving community and cast a long shadow over the site itself. It prompted a renewed focus on safety and the development of stricter protocols for cave diving. Divers were reminded of the unforgiving nature of underwater exploration and the importance of respecting the environment they entered. The tragedy served as a catalyst for change, leading to more rigorous training standards and a deeper understanding of the risks involved in such dives. Yet despite all the cautionary tales and improved safety measures, the allure of Jacob's Well remains undiminished. Despite the increased caution, Jacob's Well continues to allure and intrigue. Its reputation as a perilous yet fascinating dive site remains intact. The underwater cave, with its labyrinth of passageways and hidden chambers, still calls out to those who seek the thrill of the unknown. It's a place where adventure and danger are inseparable, where each dive could reveal something new or take an unexpected turn. This sense of the unknown, of uncovering secrets buried in the depths, continues to captivate the imaginations of many. The well's mystique is heightened by the stories of the lost and the near misses. Divers recount tales of ghostly whispers in the dark water, of sudden currents that seem to guide or push them away. Some say that the spirits of those who perished still linger in the depths, a haunting reminder of the price paid for the pursuit of adventure. These eerie accounts add layers to the well's legend, transforming it from a simple geological formation into a place where the natural and supernatural seem to intertwine. Unanswered questions remain. How many more secrets does Jacob's Well hold in its depths? What causes the strange phenomena that divers report? And why does it continue to draw people in despite its deadly reputation? These mysteries add to the allure, making Jacob's Well not just a dive site, but a legend, a place where the line between life and death is as thin and elusive as the air bubbles rising to the surface. If you found this story interesting, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown.